Let me jump right into it. What's going on, YouTube citizens, my friends and family, as well as my subscribers, literal family and friends, maybe, as well in my friends and subscribers section, and people that just wish to stop back. What's up? What's going on? And let's get right into it. I'm trying to be more active on my YouTube channel. Tongue, I see blue from drinking some blue juice. But trying to be more active, and I still got a lot of stuff I meditate on and I focus on, but I'm mostly like on like chats and stuff like that. I'm still ministering and or sharing information and just enlightening people, enlightening people. And I see the messages are getting out there. I'm seeing different things come about in the world that show that it is reaching out there and it's not causing a riot or any tension, but it's causing a positive movement. So, and that's the main thing I'm aiming for. But let me get a little comfortable in my chair here. I don't know why I don't get comfortable before I start recording. But all right, now in I think about 2 videos that I got on here, I I talk about relationships, as far as within the black community and how it's an ongoing issue and an ongoing struggle because you got brothers who used to be players or so-called pimps and decide to settle down. And they decide to settle down and become the decent brother of some woman's potential husband. And when they try to make a transition in their mentality, they see that it's not the same as it was when they was the bad guy. So you got a lot of so-called bad guys trying to make that transition from the bad guy to the good guy. And then, of course, vice versa. You got a good guy trying to go to bad guy. And when he see that the good guy going to the bad guy, see that he's starting to pick up women and, starting to experience in a way that he never was able to experience before as the good guy, then it causes him to hold on to that a while. But he also realized that when it comes to trying to find love with that mentality, it's difficult. It's hard because they really not looking for love in that particular area. It's just going with the flow. In some cases, it's the challenge or the bad guy seems like he got the confidence, etc. But anywho, mainly the 70%, like I said, that's ongoing topic, all that. And what made me want to bring it back up, because I've been bringing up a lot of points with others, having this discussion with, and I'm like, man, I bring up all this good information that I need to be posting on my channel so people can sit at home from the comfort of their home, looking on their iPhone or their laptop or whatever, and just sit back and receive, insight. Some peace of mind, like, hey, okay, bro, got a good point on that. I can use that or whatever the case. Close laptop, switch up on the phone, whatever, and go back to their day. But let's see. Trying to see where to begin here. All right. I guess I would start with the misconception of submissive, which I already spoke on that in a video response to frustrated black men in Brazil. The submissiveness, how it's took out of context in a misconception that some women look at it like, slaving to a guy. Oh, yes, a master, Now, of course, it's not that. It's being supportive. But, that's taken out of context. But, I talked with some relatives, mom and aunt, and they brought up about where we talked about submissiveness, And I asked them, what's their definition of submissiveness? And they gave the accurate definition. And I said, well, Mom and aunt, how come y'all get it and a lot of other women don't? Which I already knew why. But aunt said, well, just like you just speculated or pointed out, how can we get it and other women don't? Because we women of God, they not. So that's what it all boils down to, point blank. Okay, so now the Spirit started to guide me in a direction. But anywho, a lot of people trying to seek love without the one who created it. And they trying to operate in love without the one who created it. And God is the one that sustains relationships. He the one that takes a good man or makes a man a good man or makes a woman a good woman. Because goodness and righteousness come from him. So in order to have that nice relationship or that strong relationship or love period, it has to be of God. But what people try to do is try to shortcut and try to leave him out the picture and be like, I can do this without him. And that's what leads to the multiple breakups, the high divorce rate, people constantly going from this person to that person, trying to figure out what's wrong. Man, it sure is a lot of messed up men out here. Or women, man, it sure is a lot of messed up. Well, yeah, women, it's a lot of messed up men. Men, it's a lot of messed up women. So that being the case, not realizing that it's nothing to do with the woman or the man. It's a lot to do with us. Our picks, what we seeking. Not nothing to do with them. It's a lot to do with us. Now, in a lot of cases, sometimes it do be the people we date, the people we trying to get close to, because we get it and they don't, or vice versa. But overall, unless God in the mix and God in between the two individuals and within the two individuals, then peace, then understanding, then reason. A lot of marriages that last for 40, 50 years has God in the relationship. People that, or couples that go to church, they go to church and they try to get understanding from a different perspective. Because God is that really the first person, not third person. But he's supposed to be first, but saying it in this way, metaphorically speaking, of course, the third person in a relationship. The third meaning he don't get put last, but he number three. You got you, the person you date, and him. He in the mix. Okay, let me get an example. I'm trying to see which angle to tackle this at. All right, let's say, so I'm dating a woman, right? And I do something wrong. And I got God in me. Of course, do now. But I got God in me. Okay, I do something wrong, and she points out that I did something wrong. Instead of me being in denial and be like, oh, you know what, I ain't do that, and I'm steady trying to make it seem like I'm Mr. Perfect, that's when the Spirit convicts me. So the Spirit convicts me, and when I get alone off to myself or wherever, or the Father sending me all sorts of signs, let me know, hey, you was wrong, you was wrong, you was wrong. So getting convicted, then I'm going to be like, man, she was right. I am wrong, or I do need to change, or I do need to fix this. So going back to her and saying, well, you know what, I was wrong. You're right. I do need to fix this. I do need to change. Not that you handing something over to that person, but you showing how big of a person you are, showing how mature of a person you are when you confess. Because confession shows maturity. When we can acknowledge or be accountable for our actions. But when we don't do it, that's childishness. Or a team, trying to make it seem like we so perfect. Or acting like we scoring points. Well, if I admit to them, or if I tell the truth, then it's giving them credit. Just like I'm giving them credit or giving them points. It ain't about giving them credit. It ain't about giving them points. It's about you showing that person that I can be the bigger person and admit I'm wrong. Not the bigger person, because that even sound like being competitive. But I can be a accountable person and admit that I'm wrong and admit, yeah, I need to change. But I can understand also how people can try to rub it in your face when you admit to your wrongs, as if they just won a game or something, or they just got a trophy. Yeah, I told you I was right. I knew I was right. Well, if God is in that person and they try to rub it in the individual face, then the Spirit gonna convict them, saying you wrong now, because they came back to you and apologized, trying to fix the situation, and now you trying to make mockery of it. So maybe you need to read Psalms 1 while you at it, because in James it teaches to confess your faults ye one to another, which I should have this open right now, but I got another scripture in particular open. But it say, confess your faults one ye to another, so that you may be healed. Wow. The Father led me right to it. It's James 5:16. It says, therefore, and yeah, I am actually reading from it. Therefore, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other, that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous man is powerful and effective. So it say, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other that you may be healed. This right here is a relationship prayer. Then it goes on to say the prayer of a righteous man is powerful and effective. So here it is, the Father see we done wrong to somebody, but yet we go in prayer requesting something from him, and we done something wrong to somebody. So he like, how am I going to hear your prayers when here it is, you got something that you broke that you're not trying to fix? So that's why I say, confess your faults ye one to another. So a lot of times, he gets that spouse, he gets that boyfriend or girlfriend, he punishes them, he takes care of them. All you got to do is go pray and let him deal with them. Or sometimes he might set it up for you to get that person back, where he used you as the instrument to get them back, and you go away untouched, unpunished, because he allowed it to happen. So it all depends on how you choose to handle the situation. So basically, point out, reading it, in James, God being in the mix is important in relationships. And a lot of people trying to shortcut and do it without him. And how can you love without the person? How do you know how to love without the one who created love? Man didn't even know what love was. In the Old Testament, it was nothing but law. Christ came down and illustrated what love was. People couldn't understand forgiveness. People like scratching their heads. What? He forgave that person. He just let that person off the hook. They were so used to the old way of things, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. They were so used to vengeance and, repaying a person back for what they done for them. Insult for insult, injury for injury. But forgiveness is one of the aspects of love, and Paul goes on in Corinthians, patience, kindness, self-control, etc. So it's first understanding the concept of love before trying to love. Not just simply saying the words, I love you, and you don't know the definition of love. I ask a lot of people, what's your definition of love? I always get a long, thick telephone book definition of what it is. And I'm like, wow. And that long definition that the individual give, they can't even uphold to them standards neither. So here it is. You get this long definition of what love is, and your definition of love, you can't even uphold to it. So how can people fuss at the next person or get mad at the next person for not living up to their standards or what they say love is, and they don't even live up to it? Well, in 1 John, who is love? Say God is love. What is love? John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Sacrificed. So understanding that concept. But in this worldly society that we in, everybody not on it. Means you Christ or God, whoa. I don't do that religion stuff. Religion. That's what it is. Now, it's relationship, not religion. Relationship. Big difference. And that relationship is what teaches, that's the part of me that you fell in love with, is the godly side of me. Just because I didn't reveal it right away and say, this is who inspires me, this is who influences me, this is who made me the individual I am. Once they get brought up, hey, God, Christ, angels and heaven and all this other stuff, whoa, I didn't know that. What do you think I was displaying the whole time that you was attracted to me? That was the godly side. Now that I'm starting to announce, who influenced me, who inspired me, withdraw. So it's, but anyhow, let me go read 2 Peter. And I ain't saying me, I'm just saying, speaking in general. Because I ain't gonna even go down a list of stories or chronicles. I ain't gonna even go down there. But I had it in 1 Peter, which I'm trying to turn back to, and read about submissiveness, which some people are familiar with it. Alright. 1 Peter 3:1. Say, wives, in the same way be submissive to your husbands, so that if any of them do not believe the word, they may be won over without words, but by the behavior of their wives. 2, it says, when they see the purity and reverence of your lives, your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as braided hair and a wearing of gold jewelry and fine clothes. Instead, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. For this is the way the holy women of the past, who put their hope in God, used to make themselves beautiful. They were submissive to their own husbands, like Sarah, who obeyed Abraham and called him her master. You are her daughter if you do what is right and do not give way to fear. It also says, husbands, in the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives, and treat them with respect as the weaker partner, and heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers. So once again, this prayer hindrance. So you go out and do somebody wrong, you're doing a person wrong in a relationship, and then all of a sudden, oh God, could you bless me with this? God, could you help me with it? No, I can't. No, I can't, because the wrong that you did, or the lowdown is that you're doing to your spouse, or the lowdown is that you're doing to your potential spouse or wife. This person you dating, like they your husband or like they your wife, because you laying with them like that. So, no. Go fix what you did wrong first, then I hear you. So the singleness, right? The same way he said your prayers should be hindered within a relationship with wives and husbands. The same way with an individual man or woman. If you a woman or a man that's constantly breaking hearts and doing people wrong, then yes, you're gonna struggle. Yes, he ain't gonna want to listen to you too quick because you're going about breaking hearts and doing wrong. So, and I know a lot of women like that. I know brothers like that too, but I know a lot of women like that. That's why the percentage is higher with women, because getting with a guy, having no intention on being with that guy, and you trying to manipulate him and con him out of money and play with his emotions, and then break it off with him and thinking you just got off the hook. That, hey, there's just a loss he gonna have to accept. He's just gonna have to move on with his life and accept it. No, because it says here your prayers won't be heard, and he gonna get you. So that's why a lot single and struggling, single and miserable, singled and cursed because of past heartbreaks that they caused to innocent bystanders of your manipulation and cruelty. So there's one reason why single, one reason why brothers migrating elsewhere, and one reason why the percentage is higher with women in our community than males, because males are migrating elsewhere. And then you see men of other cultures see that their own men are fleeing from them. What makes you think they gonna want to marry and commit a relationship like they own men fleeing from them? It must be something wrong, because seeing how attractive and beautiful they are, but they own men fleeing from them or moving elsewhere, then maybe we shouldn't get entangled with them neither, because whatever reason they migrate, we need to migrate too. So yeah, they might lay up and sleep, which, matter of fact, thanks Spirit, I known a African brother from Nigeria, and he actually dated a few women here in the States since he moved over here. And he tells me how, he said, black American women, he said, I don't be seen in public with them. He said, I sleep with them on the side behind the scenes, but I don't let myself be seen in public with them. He said, after I sleep with them, that's it. I'm done. I'm like, okay, what's that about? Because we didn't have the talks. Well, a lot of African brothers over here see like the rebellious and how women are and whatnot, and a lot of them say that disrespectful or whatnot, and not brought up in the way that they should be brought up when it comes to the culture. And don't get me wrong, I mean, that brother that I spoke with and knew had issues back home with his own wife. He said a lot of stuff she was doing, she was acting crazy. So it's just not within the States, period, but a huge cultural difference. A big, big cultural difference. I mean, a guy come up and approach a woman of a different culture, or yeah, a woman of a different culture, is a different response to him. Unless she finds the guy somewhat of a threat, or he looks like a potential terrorist or like a thug, whatever the case. But if the guy, decent and approach her humble, approach her nice, she received him a lot differently than how his own. But don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I have been seeing results. I have been seeing a difference. Not all, but most. When I go out and about and I'm probably shopping with my daughter, or by myself, I see women smiling, a lot of sisters smiling and being friendly and nice, and I'm like, what's really going on? So I guess by this topic being talked about so much, a lot of them starting to realize that that attitude, no. You want to find, and you know the sisters out there, you want to find you a good husband. First thing you got to start with, kill the attitude. Number one. Number two is when in a conversation with a guy. If a guy says something that sounds inappropriate or sound like he meant something a certain way, don't assume that that's what he exactly meant, or he said something that came out wrong, that that's how he meant to say it. Because sometimes guys stumble upon a woman and get tongue-tied or tangled or say something that comes out completely wrong, but make it seem like, you know, he a pervert or he crazy or whatever the case, and he mean for it to come out like that. As soon as something come out wrong, it's, oh, you know, end up hurrying up and shooting or getting away from him, and he mean nothing back. But they could close their door immediately because something came out wrong. Simply just ask, hey, what did you mean by that? Or are you saying this or are you saying that? Oh, no, I didn't mean it that way. I meant to say it like this, and this. Oh, okay. Instead of the first time you said it come out wrong and yeah, he ain't nothing but this, and that. So it's so many areas that women fail and mess up in. I mean, the decent, hard-working brothers, we don't want to deal with no drama. We don't want to deal with no attitude, no arguments and fight. We come up and approach cool, laid back, whatever. Speak, be nice, humble, gentle. If we start off that way, give it about a week or two. You know, just conversation only. See where his mind is. Ask questions, whatnot. If he humble, cool, laid back, relaxed, seem like on the intelligence level, extend it. See how far it goes. Get on the inside. I mean, it's real simple. But when you misinterpret things on the front end, then yeah, you know, it's going to completely kill it and give a person the wrong impression about you, and there was the right guy along. But I mean, I can go on with this, man. It's all going. I ain't mean for it to go almost 30, but just one of another videos, elaborate on it. I ain't finna, you know, add more videos like this, stacking on top of each other. But just wanted to elaborate some more on a lot of points. But point blank, though, man, you can't love without God. And the only good men and women out here are the ones that's of God, point blank. He the one created love. So he the one created love, he the only one can teach a person how to love. Because everybody that claim they love you and they this good person and according to your eyes, it's a source where that comes from. So where is their source? Because whatever source they drawing from, that's what make it not have that fire anymore, because it's starting to run dry. So the splurging, buying gifts and what, and that's why some people try to buy gifts to cover up what they don't know. If they don't know how to love you properly, the only thing they can think of to cover up the ignorance of how to love you is buy gifts. You know, point blank, man, I don't know nothing. I sure don't know much about this love thing, but let me go buy something here. That'll fix it. But a lot of people don't know how to discuss, conversate, apologize. All that play a role into it. Admitting you wrong, apologizing, being patient, sitting down, listening. All that play a role in it. But if you come in a relationship self-centered, that ain't love. That's a lie. You all selfish and up to yourself, just about yourself, you lying to you. Women, when you start out come relationship being sneaky, you hurting you. Because in the end, like I just read, scriptures, prayers won't be heard. He ain't gonna bless you, cause doing people wrong. It's going to this person doing wrong, doing that person wrong. You end up suffering. You end up suffering, and then when a good guy come along, finally come along, you so paranoid and so scarred that you panic, and then he end up leaving and you ain't ready for him, or you realize he was the one after he left, and now you're like, oh man, I done messed up, and because you ain't preparing yourself for that good guy. This is like the parable of the 10 virgins. I'm leaving it there. I ain't trying to go an hour or something, but it's one of them topics that you can't sum up in 5 minutes. But it's the parable of the 10 virgins in the Bible, right? And I'm sure people are familiar with it. Basically, it's talking about the second coming of Christ, but the parable of the 10 virgins is talking about 5 foolish virgins, 5 wise virgins. Now, here's what I got of it. Even though I know the literal parable, what it means, what Christ meant by that, but there's a revelation popped out of it. And the revelation is, and I'm going to end it on this parable here and then cut it off. But, okay, I'm going to share the story and then I'm going to share the revelation. Just, kind of brief it up. You got 5 foolish virgins, got 5 wise virgins. They're waiting on a groomsman or the bridegroom. They're waiting on a bridegroom to arrive at a certain destination. At the destination that they was waiting at, pretty much. And the 5 wise virgins had extra oil in their lamp for burning a lamp at night and waiting for him at day. So they wait day and night for the bridegroom. The 5 foolish virgins just brought enough oil for maybe a few nights because they figured that he wasn't going to come at night. They figured, I know he ain't going to come at night at this time of the hour to come get us. So they just brought enough oil for the night or a few nights, and that was it. While the wise ones was abundant in oil for night, and of course day you don't need no lamps, but they was abundant in oil for nighttime just in case he came at night. And every night I'm sure they probably burnt their lamps waiting, and he still didn't show up. So when he finally did show up, the 5 foolish virgins panicked. They panicked, ended up going where they was trying to take some of the oil from the wise virgins. Like, can you give us some of your oil? We don't hardly have none. The wise virgins like, no, go get some extra oil like we did. We not finna hand our oil over to y'all, and we prepared ourselves. And we supposed to get y'all oil that we prepared for the bridegroom over to you, and y'all came unprepared. Go get your own oil. So when they went and got their own oil, the bridegroom saw the 5 wise ones there. He didn't know the difference between the wise and the foolish, but he just saw 5 there ready to go. The other 5 he didn't see nowhere in sight. So I'm sure the bridegroom assuming these the women that's ready, and the other 5 must not be ready. So keep it moving. So when they went to his dinner table and sat down, the 5 foolish ones came at the last minute. Got all their makeup and got their oil and all that all together at the last minute. But then the butler came to the door and said, sorry, I don't know you. Because they are we the other 5 women that, sorry, I don't know you. See, they came too late. So take that story in the Bible to all the sisters. You're looking for that good man to come, but you're not ready. You're not prepared. In order to get yourself prepared mentally, practice submission. Learn submission. Study it. Practice it with the guy you date. Not, oh, well, I ain't going to submit until I get married. So you think you would actually, honestly, be able to go into submissive mode, years of doing it your own way, years of being in a habit of being you and doing you versus the new submissive you. So once you get married, okay, I'm submissive now. No, 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 no. You got to practice it. Husbands get trained. Wives get trained. That's how God does it. He molds and shapes individuals to be future husbands or future wives. And then put the two together. Oh, Holy Spirit just hit me with something. He molded and shaped Adam. Did he not? Made Adam a husband. And then he molded and shaped his wife and brought her to him. She's prepared now. I instructed her. I taught her like I taught you. So now I'm bringing her to you, Adam, as your wife. Your wife is ready. Because he said God brought Eve to him. Not brought to him as carrying her like this, but brought as far as walking and talking with her. So instructing Eve on the way to Adam, informing her on the way to him. So he already done taught her, gave her the 411, what type of wife she's supposed to be, how it's supposed to go, and all this. Now you ready for Adam. Because Adam was already ready for you. He already been taught, trained, and, my principles been instilled in Adam. So now I'm instilling those same principles in you and while I'm bringing you to him. So before I release you over to Adam to be his wife, let me instruct and teach you first. And that's what he was doing in Genesis. So when he brought her to Adam, he instructed and taught her first, then brought her. So same way with us. Same way with us. How teach and instruct us, mold and shape us, going through heartache after heartache, heartbreak after heartbreak, disappointment after disappointment. Not to make us bitter, but to make us better. So it would teach us how to be more respectful toward another person's feelings. It'll teach us how to be more kind. It'll teach us how to be more patient. Because us being the recipients of cruelty, being the recipients of manipulation and disappointment, so therefore it only should mold and shape us into being more mature, learning from it more, and developing more into being the better man or the better woman for the one who really deserves us versus the ones that don't. That's why in Proverbs 31, it said, who can find a virtuous wife? For her value is far above rubies. In Psalms, I can't think of the chapter right now, but it says, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, in him whom he delights. At the end of Proverbs 31, it said, a godly woman is worthy to be praised. So the good woman and a good man, steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. What does it mean? Elaborate in Psalms. I'm just only going as the Spirit lead me. Steps of a good man ordered by the Lord, meaning, if he come up, be respectful. I already got somebody, I'm with somebody. Have a good day. He out. You open that door for him. He ain't finna be talking to your underwear. He gonna be talking to you, seeing where your mind is. Thinking, oh, cause he ain't no bad boy, he can't put it down. How you know that? How you know that? He wanna make sure that I'm approved character-wise first. We get behind closed doors. Let me show you that I'm well trained in that area as well. Not only am I trained in character, but also in others. So see, that's all good too, versus his mentality. Then come the leadership, come the wisdom, come the knowledge. All that plays a part in it as well. But I can go on. I can go on. I ain't trying to make it too lengthy. But I mean, if it's valuable information, if it's blessing somebody, if somebody enjoying it, then I guess every minute is worth it. So like I said, it's ongoing. But for the women out there, for the sisters, I mean, if you don't, like I say, you don't get it together, it's gonna be an abandonment. It ain't like the brothers out here don't love you anymore, or feel like you wasteless or waste. I'm wasteless. I don't even know if that's a word, but I know waste, but just feel like y'all can do better. You do a whole lot better in y'all mentalities, and that's what's killing it. Ain't the fact, oh, ain't no good men. No, no, no. It's good brothers out here. There are. It's just not want to put up with foolishness, not want to argue and fight, and we just simply a simple nice hello, and in return a rude, nasty response, and it's like, oh, you just killed it. You just killed it. Don't want to have nothing to do with you. You know, stuff like it's just different stuff. So, well, you know, I believe that because I ain't planning on going the distance, but like I said, it's just so many angles to cover it. But just overall, remember that without the one who created love, it's impossible to love without the one that created love. So that's the ultimate thing. Can't shortcut. Can't do it without God. I mean, He created it. I mean, people to this day still struggling with it now. They're thinking they got it figured out. One man, I sure can't find them. You found them, you just didn't recognize it. We all of us been through somebody where we didn't dated somebody, we thought it was boring, we thought it was lame. We thought, man, this person here ain't about nothing. But they was a good person. That's what the good person are. They stable. They ain't wild and loose. They stable. And we think that person, you boring, you know, go on somewhere. Let me go find somebody else. Then you find a wild loose one, like, yeah, this my type right here. Yeah, I can get down with them. We finna have a ball. And you do for the time being, then it turns into arguing, fussing, fighting, insecurity. You cheating with the next person, and you know, that insecurity wouldn't be there if they wasn't wild and loose. But of course, the insecurity there because you see how they was when we first met them. So, and then fighting ain't how I get along, and this one, you know, falling off. Then when we think back on that person, like, man, you get older, you be like, man, I wonder what so and so is. Because you realize out of all the women you dated, that one that you thought was lame, boring, or all the men, you know, were lame, boring, that's the one that was suitable to be with as a good husband or a good wife. Like, man, where are they now? You know? But the only thing we can do is just move on. We learn from it and mature and just say, hey, you know, life goes on. You know, all I'm going to do is just, you know, keep staying positive, keep my head up, and move on. And when it come back around, and it's, you know, I run into that one, and I know for certain it's that one because I had experience with dating all the others, that's when it hit me like, okay, I think this one right here, I might can go forward with. But not just, you know, going out feeling alone, but if I see a lot of major signs, like, okay, I think I'm going to stop right here. But all in all, just like God brought Eve to Adam, just like He brought Esther to King Xerxes, just like He brought Jacob to Rachel, He the one does the matchmaking. It's not us. He do the matchmaking. And you will know. You will know. You will feel it. You will feel it like this person is the one, without a shadow of a doubt. And there'll be so many signs there. So many signs of compatibility. Some people panic because they're not used to it. They haven't been introduced to that before. You know, the spirits that lead me. You know, it's another thing. I'm trying to cut it off here, folks, but spirit just hitting me with stuff. But How can a person look for something that they don't recognize, or look for something that they haven't been taught how to identify? Okay, this hopefully this well, if it's one more point, if it's not one more point, but I'm just going off spirit. But what I mean is, a lot of people looking for love or looking for a good man or a good woman, but haven't been shown it, haven't been illustrated what is a good man or a good woman, what is love. So how can you look for something that you don't know how to identify? It's just like if you're a child and you haven't been taught your shapes. And mom, dad, grandma, whoever say, they got some blocks laying out on the floor. Mom and dad say, go give me a circle. You haven't been taught what a circle is. So instead of going to get a circle, you go get a triangle and bring it back. Oh, here you go, mom and dad. That's not a circle, that's a triangle. Go give me a circle. So instead of bringing back a circle, you get a rectangle. Oh, here you go, dad. Here go a circle. Oh, mom, same thing. With a good man or a good woman of love. If you haven't been taught or shown what it is, how can you identify it? So all these people that's going from woman to woman, man to man, looking for something that they don't know what to look for. They don't know how to identify it because they weren't taught or shown. So how can you find something that you don't know what you're looking for? You know, oh man, it's gotta be a good man out there somewhere, and God like you ran through about 6 or 7 of them. Or the man, well, men tend to find it a little quicker or catch on. Not all, but usually men tend to catch on quick when they got a good woman, because what happens is, out of all the other women he messed with, he see that they can't compare it to that one. So that's when he realized, yeah, this a decent woman here, because compared to the other ones, she's showing some qualities and traits that the other one highly lack. So we normally kind of catch on. Or if a guy recognize his mother in a woman, when she getting on his case, she making sure he stay upright, she calling him out on stuff he do, she scolds him when he in the wrong, where he seeing his mother in her, then he know, yeah, that's a decent woman right there, because she coming off like my mama. And I need that type of woman in my life to make sure I stand up straight. But women, it's not always, no. Go through about 6 or 7, and oh God, I can't find a good man. You ran through about, brothers really don't have that problem. It's more getting a good woman back. It's not finding a good woman, but getting her back. Because the guy end up getting a good woman, he know he got one, and some other woman that comes along that likes how committed he is to the woman he with, and end up seducing him, and the ego kick in like, oh man, I can go get that. So he might end up sleeping with her and think he finna simply brush her off, and the woman that seduced him got attached, and she trying to be the lady of his life instead of his wife or the girl he currently with at the time, the woman he currently with at the time. So that's what men mess up at, then lose the good one, and that's when we want to pray and Father, can you please bring her back? Now, not so much as finding her, but the finding her comes in after probably done had this woman messed off on or whatnot, realized he done messed up. Now he's looking for another one just like her. If he see he can't get the one he had right back, he's looking for another one just like him. So, but other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I done poured out light on this video more than the other ones. But Just point blank, can't do it without God. That's one of the issues. Main ones is cannot love without the Creator. Can't do it. We didn't manufacture it. Nobody on earth manufactured. Nobody has a degree in love. Only the one who has a master degree in love is Christ when he died on the cross. That's the master degree. He said, have no greater love than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Those are Christ's words and what he taught. So, but I think that's that as far as what I wanted to share. So, sisters out there, we still love you. Still decent brothers out here. It's just we want to know on the front of you. We don't want to. You come out with attitude, whatever, on the front of you, it's like moving on. Or he might come workaholic and get into a lot of different activities and ain't really just trying to chase like he used to. Because he's more mature now, more positive. So every now and then, occasion, might flirt and, talk to see if he get anywhere with a woman. If she don't open the door or she already taken one night, then might, cut it off for about a good 2-3 weeks, a month, however long, and then try again. Instead of going every week to the same hangout spot or whatever, he's too busy working, trying to maintain and manage things. So it's every now and then. It's like, well, it's been about 2 months since I last tried to date or flirt, so let me try it again. So see what, hey, how you doing, whatever, do his thing. She opened the door, cool, all right, let's see how this works. If she don't, okay, let me wait another 2-3 months. Not purposely, but be occupied and just trying to take care of other things. It's like, you know what, I'm not going to waste my time lingering over whether or not I should call her or whether or not she going to call me. Let me just go on, take care of this, do that. Move on with my life. Not being stubborn, not having pride, but just being realistic. Instead of sitting moping, man, when is she gonna call? Man, sitting the time you sitting there waiting for if she gonna call or not. No, it's more like, man, been 10 minutes. No, okay. Let's say, oh man, it's been 3-4 days. I ain't heard from you. It's been a week. I ain't heard from you. Instead of every day, like, okay, every day sitting in front of the phone, just looking at it. Man, when is she gonna call yet? Man, when is she gonna call? Nah. This is called rather desperate right there. It's more like, fix this, take care of that, go pay this, do that. And when I hadn't looked at my phone yet, or checked my phone, or daily routine, checking the messages, don't see nothing, okay. Not all throughout the day, but when I get out of work or whatever, or if I got it on me, or whatever. But it's do this, take care of this, take care of that. And call, don't. Life goes on. Can't sit, mope, and grope over one individual. Decent brother, like a pinball, ding, 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 taking care of business. The one who ain't got nothing going for himself, he got plenty of free time. See, all day long. Nope, still ain't called. Let me call this other one. Let me call this other. Just like the movie Bill Bellamy, right? I'm still wondering, how did he have all that free time to mess with all them women? I ain't seeing a movie where he would work. I know it's just a movie, but it's a pretty prime example right there. Guy ain't got nothing going for himself. Yeah, he got plenty of free time to go from this woman to that woman and, keeping up with her and constantly, date her and get her and do this and do that. But the brother that used to do that, but about business, trying to take her his own and trying to maintain, nah, he ain't got time to constantly club hop or go to her and her and her. We do it on the way. What I mean on the way is, we go to the store And we went to the store to actually shop. We didn't go to the store to look for women. Some guys actually probably do that. But we had to go to the store to shop. And you so happen to stumble up in the aisle where we on, then we might make a move. But we already obligated. I'm here to get what I'm finna get and go. But you just happen to be in the aisle like, wow, she pretty. But she nice looking. I think I'm gonna try to get to know her. Then go. See where it goes. Work out, cool. If it don't, keep shopping, out and about. Next stop, might gotta go to the supply store, hardware store, whatever. Go up in the hardware store. Just so happen to see you up in the hardware store. Oh, another opportunity. Remember, we originally obligated to go in the hardware store. But we see you along the way because we already obligated. I already got stuff going on. Oh, let me try and make a move right here. Work out, do. If you don't. Keep moving on, taking care of business. Just giving it, I give, man, I can make this 2 hours, but I'm not trying to make it 2 hours. As you see, I'm coming from different perspectives and angles where this can be covered. So, but I might, I don't know, do a part 2 on it, but I'm going ahead and cut it off here because I ain't expect to go this long. But it is what it is. Love relationships where it can quite be a journey indeed. Yeah, I think the spirit cut off. Yeah, alright, cut off. Anywho, just thought I'd cover on that. The topic was talked about. I've been speaking on this a lot elsewhere. I've been speaking on a lot of other topics elsewhere. Like I said, on chats, chat lines and stuff like that. So, not just Tube, but just wherever it's convenient. Because Tube, I boot the computer up and all that. And it's not that much energy. It's not that much effort involved. But versus just simply the convenience of a phone and this topic, that topic, and versus boot it up and wait for it to load and click and all that. But it's worth it. As long as I'm blessing lives, people getting something out of it, it's worth it. Didn't mean to make it an hour, but y'all know this topic can't be summed up in no 5 minutes. But I'm gonna officially cut off. Peace be unto you. And now I wasn't throwing no triangle. Peace and Christ for life.